The dignity of a human person does not lie in his or her having, but in his or her being. My dear friends, just one little thought based on the gospel passage today. As you know, today the church remembers and honors the holy guardian angels. The church believes that each one of us is given an angel to intercede for us, to protect us, to make a representation in the presence of God, and above all, when we die, to present our souls in the hands of God. So that is our basic faith and belief, the teaching of the church. And that is based on the gospel passage, the words of Jesus himself, as we read today, Matthew's Gospel, chapter 18, verse 10, where Jesus says, "Don't despise one of these little ones, because I tell you that in heaven their angels always behold the face of their Father." So each one is represented by the angel, and this angel is in the presence of God, and they always look at the face of God. And this devotion towards guardian angels was started around 12th century. Saints like Bernard and Benedict, they contributed to the spread of this devotion. And in 1615, the then Pope Paul V added this feast in the liturgy. And since then, we have this day to commemorate, to honor, to remember these holy guardian angels. My dear friends, Jesus makes it clear that the dignity of a human person comes from the very being itself, not from his or her having. She may or may not have qualifications, academic qualifications, or possessions, big status, or good looks, talent, skills. These are all apart from the real consideration of the human dignity. A person is dignified precisely because he or she is a human person. But oftentimes, humans as we are, we attach too much of values to the externals or the externals of the human person, and we tend to forget or take it for granted the real dignity and the nobility of being a human person. And in the letter of St. James also we find that oftentimes we give respect to the externals. If someone is come with well dressed and good looking or royal status, we give honor to him or her. On the other hand, ordinary person, you go there, sit there, you come after to eat, etc. How easily we become a prey to this kind of treatment. In our own day-to-day situation in the parish or institution like this, how we treat maybe the teachers and how we treat the peons and attendants, the watchmen, how easily we take them for granted. Once in a big factory, the manager, he is the highmost authority in that factory, but a very simple man. Every time he enters the factory in the morning, he will wish good morning to the watchman, and he also will say good morning, sir, etc. And this has been going on. Similarly, when he goes back home, he will say good night, thank you, and he will go. One particular evening, this watchman did not notice the manager going out of the factory. So he was wondering, every time he would meet me and go, today he didn't come, that means he must be inside. So after 1 or 2 hours, he was waiting, then he went inside around 8 o'clock and was just going around to see whether all the doors are closed, office are closed, etc. And then in the cold storage room, he saw the light. He was wondering how is that the storage light in the room, the light was not on. Then he opened and went inside, and the manager was found fainted and was just gasping for his life. Because the manager, when he went inside to check the cold storage, the door by mistake automatically closed from outside. He could not open it from there, and he could not call anybody, he could not alert anybody, and it was already, I don't know how long he was lying there. So he was struggling, and his body became chill, etc. Then immediately this watchman gave his clothes to him and rushed him to the hospital and saved him. And then the manager asked him, how did you get the idea that I must be inside because nobody was there? How is it you came inside? Then he said, every day you wish me good night and go home, and today I did not see you, so that's why I was sure you must be inside somewhere. See how an act of recognizing the dignity of that watchman saved his very life. And the workers, the class 4 employees, they may be getting salary from us. That doesn't mean we own their being. Their being belongs to God. And their angels look at the face of God every day. So they are dignified in themselves. We may employ them. We can employ only their 8 hours, only their talents and skills and work. We are not the master of their being. And when we realize this, naturally, our words, our actions, our attitudes towards everyone, especially all the simple employees, will be really, really different. So we need to remember the face, the guardian angels of each and every one. Look at always the face of God the Father, and thereby they get the basic dignity and nobility. Let us ask ourselves how we treat one another, especially those who are supposed to be below our status in our lives. Let us think about it.